and welcome to the 19th installment of the Jonesin on a Whim podcast, our second installment of NFL all the time. And I went with the NFC music over the AFC, which is basically Fox versus CBS, because the NFC is clearly the dominant conference right now.
Yes.
So that was an easy call. Mm-hmm. Interesting week of football.
That's the word we're gonna use.
Interesting, like the coach in Major League after Charlie Sheen hits the guy.
All right, let's get him out of there. Right. So as always, well, we are Jonesin on a Whim. Woo! All three of us are here.
Yes.
We go through all the websites and Twitter handles, but y'all don't seem to care. So, mistakes from last week, just two that I can recall. If you found more, let me know. Please listen. Let me know. Number one, we were contemplating Marvin Lewis's Coach of the Year when he won in 2009. They were 10-6. The season I was referencing, they were 11-5 in 2005, not 12-4. And I forget who won that year. But, it was different years.
Well, it wasn't us.
Right. I contemplated whether the Texans have ever won in Jacksonville other than I guess 2 years ago. They have two other times, so now they've won their third. They're 3-7 in Jacksonville in their history. And we'll go on to the 51-second segment.
Oh, sorry, I had one more correction. I mistakenly called My Fit Foods Whole Fit Foods last week. Since neither one of them sponsors us, fuck them.
Right. I'm for that. I do enjoy both, though, I must say.
Yeah, nothing against them. Just,
Hey, I've got some sponsorship over at Whole Foods. It's just not in the way of podcast. But they do support my podcast preparation and drinking during that. That 51-second segment, backstory. I call in New Orleans, the 51st state. Because hopefully we have new listeners this week. And that's why I call it 51-second segment. And under this layout, our all NFL layout, it is a injury defining. I don't know. We go over injuries from this prior week, or the injuries that are still ongoing. And it's typically alphabetical. We'll start with the Bears. Matt Forte left the game, but Lovey contends it's not a high ankle sprain, but a low ankle sprain.
Has anyone ever had a medium ankle sprain?
Right, just in the center. So we'll see.
That does mean location.
But they did, as you made me aware of, they did re-sign Khalil Bell, which they should have always had him. As Michael Bush and Matt Forte are complete opposites as far as running styles in every aspect. So Khalil Bell is more Matt Forte than Michael Bush ever will be.
True.
So that makes sense. So
no disrespect to Bush. I mean, he's a good goal line guy.
Right. And they needed that.
Yes.
Jamal Anderson, former New England Patriot, now with the Bengals, carted off the field, knee injury. I'm not sure as to where he is now. And as we all know, Thursday night, Greg Jennings sat out. And for the Colts, possibly two of their better players on defense, Dwight Freeney and Pat Angerer, just because the name, were inactive. I'm not sure the extent of how long they'll be out.
Angerer is supposed to be out for a good while, like almost
because I thought Freeney was almost could have played. It was like game time.
Yeah, that hurts.
So, and then Rashad Jennings, we knew he was inactive. That's why MJD got his carries.
He looks slow, my goodness.
Yeah, and he's a thick fella. So not always moving.
I wouldn't call him portly, but he's a round little guy.
I hope that didn't just happen. And then Blaine Gabbert day to day with the leg injury. I think he'll be fine. The bigger one of the day, maybe the biggest, Aaron Hernandez will miss a month, at least 4 weeks. He did incur a high ankle sprain, and we'll get on to that fantasy impact as we go down the line. I'll skip the Saints injuries because who cares? Darryl Revis. Sorry.
Pets have to play Welker after all now.
Right. Then that's why he left Evan receiving.
Yeah, exactly.
Once that injury occurred, Edelman took a slighter back seat spot. Darryl Revis, not a lot to play this week. Again, still with the concussion. Keller was inactive. I didn't know that he was even hurt. Hamstring. I think it happened in practice.
Yeah.
Jacoby Ford, looks like the Raiders are going to have to put him on IR. Palomalu inactive. Jets, but the Steelers didn't miss a beat, of course. Because why would they? He's the most overrated player of all time. And then Ryan Matthews will return in week 3.
Hooray!
Good deal. A lot of fantasy teams are waiting for his return.
Who's returning in week 3?
Ryan Matthews.
We believe
Chargers.
that?
Yeah, no, he was ready. He was ready today.
Nice.
Yesterday. They need him. Actually, they don't.
Somehow they too.
But, yeah, we'll talk about that again in a
Playing
bit.
bad teams.
And the Redskins, who probably took the biggest hit this
I
week,
just saw this.
Arakpo and Carricker, two of their better defensive players.
Uh-oh.
Arakpo's definitely out for the year.
Yikes.
And Carricker is
For making bad commercials.
gonna likely be out for the year. And then Fred Davis was concussed, so he'll likely miss it. They usually these days miss a week.
Yeah.
So
I'm dropping him.
now on
That's
to
because they wouldn't throw to him.
our
That's right.
our
Now I
fourth
got
segment.
excuse.
Well, you can't drop him, but
Shit.
Hell no.
unless you have
Watch me. He got like 3 catches. Come on.
Give Fred a chance.
Fred needs a chance. He's a dumbass, but he needs a chance. So on to our fourth segment, entertainment news, which we are now under this new format. It's all of our big performance, our big performance. Each of us pick a big performance from the week, and I'll let Stefan go first. I have a couple, but
You will?
I don't want.
Well,
I don't
thanks.
want.
I got to give props to the Arizona Cardinals defense for containing the Pats and actually winning that game. I was re-listening to that last week's podcast, and we were all like, we think Arizona will recover, but they're not going to win. No way.
Well, and Survivor League.
Yeah, killed everybody.
Yeah.
Survivor League.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the one.
It was in New England. I mean,
Yeah.
that's unforgivable.
Yeah, really is, and that's something we may talk about a little more later.
Right.
It's,
How
they-
far they've fallen in our power rankings.
In the power rankings.
Right.
Arizona did.
And more namely, Patrick Peterson, LSU, played in 96 snaps in that game, including 12 on special teams, 2 on offense, where he actually had a 12-yard carry, and he intercepted a pass, defensed the pass. He had a big tackle of Ridley. Both played together at LSU. Another LSU product.
Well, you get
they're everywhere.
enough LSU guys in the league. Sometimes they're going to tackle each other.
Right.
They can't just
Right,
clear it.
and it'll be
Ooh, I hate to do this to you.
Oh,
I gotta
man.
go ahead and tackle you.
I'll see you at your
Right.
reunion,
Right.
man.
Yeah, and I think that elevates maybe their motivation as well. Not that that's needed, but he's become every bit of the player we thought he would be. And yeah, that was my honorable mention. So I'm glad you mentioned the defense as a whole, because they've got an
line
elite
was
pass
great,
rusher
too.
now.
Yeah.
Darnell Dockett's a great defensive tackle as well in the middle of the stuff to run. That I've always touted their secondary, and it's just grown into one of the Adrian Wilson's. I think it's Adrian Wilson. He's always been a top safety. They've got a couple linebackers now, and I think, as you alluded to in your email to me, if their offense could just find some kind of balance.
Oh, yeah. The offense was not good at all.
Yeah, they're still 2-0, and yeah, that's a fair
Offense
big
almost gave it
performance.
away at the end.
And again, like you said, we'll talk more about New England.
And I still couldn't put them. I still couldn't put them on there because their offense is so horrible. And
Right.
At some point, that's gonna matter.
Right.
I mean, if you can't get the ball to Larry at all, and it was another case of what we talk about all the time. Like, all you gotta
But
do
it was
is put
Cobb,
in
not
the-
Skelton. Skelton's much better, in my opinion, and I've always said
I
that.
agree with that. But if
But
you,
4 yards?
I know.
It's got to be in the vicinity.
And I don't even know his targets, but at least throw his way.
He was, but it was in his way, but not to it.
Right.
You know, one of
And
those.
Cobb uses the tight ends more, and I think they were more active in the game plan. But yeah, he's the best receiver in the league. You've got to find a way to incorporate him, even if it's just tossing it up to him, because he'll go get it.
Yes.
And it's not like New England's secondary is
Red
scary.
world just
Right.
yet.
Well, no.
Yeah. So you're
I got 2. One, look, and this is hard to say, but I watched.
all right.
CJ Spiller looked
Okay.
good. He looked like he had mastered the art of running straight, because fast guys like him have a real big problem with dancing in the streets and tap dancing and trying to come up with the magical 82-yard play every time. And some kind of way, watching film or something, he's figured out.
Watching Fred Jackson
watching
helps.
Fred, it's like, if I just run straight, I'm pretty damn fast.
Right.
And if they give me a hole, I'm out.
And I made the reference yesterday to Thomas Jones. At a quarterback level, it took Thomas Jones 4 years to get it. And maybe that's the same thing for C.J. Spiller. And I'll let you continue.
C.J. Spiller, 15 carries, 126. They called the dogs off on the Chiefs, or he would have had an even more outrageous stat line.
Right.
And so that doesn't even tell you how well. He pretty much got that in the first half.
Right. And I, before you go with yours, I want to sneak mine in because you haven't stole it yet.
Stick it in there.
It's got to be the artist formerly known as Regina Bush.
Oh.
He's Reggie Bush now. 172 on 2 touchdowns. Maybe Oakland's terrible.
I'm gonna
but I'm 6.6 yards a carry, and I looked it up. In his last 13 games, he's averaging over 5.5 yards a carry, 93 yards a game. And I understand that Miami line is above average, especially at the tackle positions. But the guards, I'm not so certain. This has to be. He's becoming every down back. This has to be noted.
Yeah.
And he's. I didn't know if there'd be a second side when
It's about damn time.
it's probably right, exactly.
It's about damn time.
And maybe he had the same thing as Spiller. 4 or 5 years into it, that the light switch clicks on. But I'm guessing one of your second has got to be a New York Giant.
That's right.
Okay.
Which one?
All right.
I'm going to go with Victor Cruz because he was the one I was more skeptical about when people would ask me about it.
After the
fantasy.
drops.
He was the one I was more skeptical about after week 1. All of that type of stuff. Because a lot of his plays were just based on lack of attention last year and random 52-yard plays. But now if he's about to become...
And he had 3 drops last week.
Yeah, and if he's about to be a constant target, which it looks like he is, and if the Giants are still going to be seriously not being able to run the ball, Bradshaw neck injury, they got to play Thursday. He's not playing. David Wilson almost fumbled again. So
they don't like Wilson.
They've thrown him completely off a cliff because I think he fumbled like a punt or something.
Yeah, because if Coughlin's going to hate on Shiano, he's certainly going to hate on his own player.
Exactly. So you got this Andre Brown fellow who I've never heard of. But yeah, Victor,
Coughlin does that shit, man.
If Victor Cruz can still accidentally get behind the defense once a game, and he's going to catch 10 passes outside of that, because he had 11 catches, 179.
179.
And if you're going to accidentally,
199.
and you're going to throw in that random 50-yard play that I said he wouldn't get anymore, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
they can still win games.
All 18
obviously.
yards a catch.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious to me that they can still win games if they're going to have that. So,
wait till you see the line for this week. In their game.
I'm interested. But yeah, I got to put it on Victor Cruz, even though, Eli was Eli.
Yeah, 5-10, but 3 picks. He put them in that situation.
Yeah, he screwed the pooch.
They should not have won that game.
No, come on.
At home, I believe.
No.
So, that was, I wanted to make note of that too. Yeah, Eli, Nix, and Cruz. But I think we captured the big performances. So it brings us to our weekly top 11, and that's our power rankings. And I'm certain we all agree at number 1.
Yeah.
They look like the best team in the NFL right now. And if Alex Smith, he better send half his paycheck to Jim Harbaugh because I've never seen this out of him. And it's not like he's world beating, but he looks every bit the first overall pick from however many years ago.
Several.
Right, yeah. So, 7 years, something like
7
that.
years, maybe. Yeah.
And this is his second contract at least, and I think they're all 3 of our number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
And I think 2 we might have the same team.
Okay, let me hit it right now. Frank, I was wrong. I love you, Frank. I'm sorry. You're looking pretty damn good out there. You look like a grown man. You're looking like the Frank that we always say you look like. Maybe you just joking in preseason. Now you look fast. Now you look like the typical I wouldn't want to jump
I think
in front
he's
of
finally
you.
healthy. He hadn't been healthy in 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah, so he's
and that's Gore for
Yeah, Frank is at 5.2 yards a carry yesterday.
And that line, Harbaugh came in with one. He had a priority because the defense was there. We knew that. Beef up this line, and they spent first round picks across the board, and that's what you do. You win the trenches. You win the game.
Yeah, you really do.
And that helped Gore. Now he's not hurt because he's not getting hit as immediately as in the backfield, and you get him in an open field. He's a big fella.
Yeah, he's not the focal point of the offense anymore, which is a good thing for him.
Right. Well, they have LaMichael James is yet to be active. Just think when they unleashed that little weapon for Alex Smith in the flat. Dump it off to him and put him in the slot and using him the way maybe we use Sproles. Again,
it would be pretty good.
I always get excited about stuff like that, but
and when you put
that's not the way they play. But it's
And when you put a quarterback in a situation like Alex Smith, where he's doing better, and obviously his situation is still a little bit dumbed down, so he's not having to Eli his way up on a game. But they're just saying, look, man, don't screw us and make like 3 throws a game.
right.
3.
And Harbaugh even said, but he believes in him. He they didn't go out and get Manningham, Moss because they didn't have a quarterback. They got him because they believe in their quarterback.
Yeah.
And you don't do that if not. You load up at tight end, you get more running backs. But they proved by making those moves, we think you can expand your game and you can throw it outfield. And that's why we brought these guys in.
And maybe the light is coming on for Crabtree.
No, it seems. I don't know what his stat line was yesterday, but
6 for 67.
another impressive day for him. And he had 9 to 10, week 8 week 1. So, he's catching the football, and that comes with Alex Smith expanding his game too. So, number 2.
It's about damn time.
Right. It is, but it's not like their coaching was great before Harbaugh. So
No.
Mike Singletary and the defensive coordinator now for Nolan. They're not offensive guys.
More coaching by the seat of his pants.
Right.
They're offensive.
Literally.
After drop.
Oh, the seat of his pants around his ankles. But, so number 2, I have the Texans. They're not overly impressive, but they're taking care of business. They're doing what they're supposed to do, which is a big thing. And that's why I still have them number 2. And, boy, are they regretting paying Aaron Foster. Ben Tate's the better running back. And
what the hell is the old man doing?
And he's showing it. Well, that first pick wasn't on him. But they're regretting that Aaron Foster money because they're going to have to pay some of these guys on defense, and they're not going to be able to because they've got $9 million locked into a running back.
Well, they're going to make up
that's not even your best.
The way they're going to make up an excuse to get rid of him, that's what's coming.
You'd hope so.
He's going to say something, throw it off to somebody's mama at a Christmas party, and that's going to be
It's Texas, and you don't eat meat. Oh, you got to go.
or milk or eggs.
Right. So that's my number 2.
That's also my number 2. I won't say it's by default, but it's hard to find a lot of 2-0 teams out there that don't have a glaring issue. And they did what they were supposed to do. They beat 2
bad teams, but
teams
handily
by 20 points.
But handily, they're taking care of business. I agree.
They can run, they can defend.
Next week will be their first test.
It gets a little tougher.
They're at old man, right? Yeah, Broncos.
Right. So who do you have at 2?
Yeah, I still got Texans at 2.
Sure.
I roll my eyes about it, but what can I say? They're winning these games. They need to win. They're playing defense. They can run. We can crack jokes all we want about them running 9 plays over and over again, but they work. So what can I say? Right, and for now they're working. Oh, you Andre Johnson lovers, 3 catches, 20 yards, whatever he did. They don't need him. We've known this. That's not how their offense runs. It's dink and dunk and running the football and relying on that defense. And I'm glad they finally get that. And they use him they use him just enough. I think he's a glorified decoy. Really. Well, and Jacksonville's an above average defense. I don't want to hang it on the Texans. Yeah, but they use Andre when they cover to him a lot. Yes, this week I think.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend I was reading Jacksonville's coverages all day, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were looking to take away that deep sideline pattern that he did so well with Schaub last week. Week 1, yes.
Yeah. Number 3, this is when it gets muddled for all of us. I think so. I had Baltimore too, so Eagles beat them. So I have to, even though it is at home, they beat the team I think is the best team in the league, and I have to have them here. They need to reduce those turnovers, but 942 yards of offense, 2 games is nice as well. That's even if it does come with 9-10 turnovers. They're 2-0 with those turnovers. Yes. They're doing something right, and they're doing something wrong, but the right is overlapping the wrong. Yeah, exactly. They're putting more on the table than they're taking off. Yeah. I have them a little bit deeper down because I really, like I said, even in the mail I wrote, I'm confused as hell, and I'm still kind of overreacting. And when you start looking at some of these ranks, it's like, well, where do you put some of these teams? The Eagles are straight up 2-0 with 9 turnovers. And it's hard, right? And it's hard to fit 11 teams in this because, first of all, there's the bias. Everybody's 1-1. I mean, half the league is 1-1. You know, and it's been like 1 week looking great, next week not looking great. These are some really weird 1-1. There's only 1-0-2 team in the NFC.
I was gonna let you bring that up.
Well, I know those. I did. Yes. I know those mofos. Thank you for that. Anyway, Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah. When you having game-winning drives, okay, when you do one against Cleveland, it's like, all right, shit, it's Cleveland. Get out of here. That's what y'all should have been in that situation. But when you're doing it against Ray and Ed, that's kind of serious.
And I'll get to Baltimore later when they're in my rankings, but
I got them up high because I still believe
because they got the first team that truly got bit by these replacement officials. I mean, literally. Jacoby Jones done pushed off anybody's life. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
The refs were biting people? What?
Yeah, no, like a raven or an eagle.
Yeah, and that's why I still believe. That's why I still have them up really.
So
high.
you have third.
I still have Baltimore even.
Baltimore third, good.
Because it's a hell of a close.
No, it is, and we think they're the best team in football.
It's a shady call too.
It was very.
Yeah.
And even to not call grounding on Vic after you thought it was even a fumble for one moment. And I told you yesterday, there's no way. He threw the ball 6 yards forward. There's no way that was ever even considered a fumble. But who do you have at 3, Stefan?
I also have Baltimore. I mean, a tough loss in a tough place to play against a team that can rack up some yards.
Yeah. No, and I had to drop them just because they lost. A game I thought they should have won. A game I thought they did win, but I only dropped them to 6. I still think they're the best team in the NFL, which I guess should mean I should have them first. But the replacement officials bit them, and they still had a chance to win the game at the end. And Flacco hasn't taken that leap just yet. I think he'll still do it this year. He couldn't get it done at the end.
True.
But the Eagles are, who I've said can get. They're a tough schedule. I have them winning 9 games in the regular season, but getting in the playoffs, they have the talent to do what the Giants did a year ago. So it's not like I'm discrediting Baltimore's loss or whatever. I think they're a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 4, I have Green Bay. They were much better in week 2, but their offensive line is so bad. And don't tell me you fake a field goal on 4th and 26, a makeable field goal. That's not desperation. They were desperate to win that game that night.
That's right.
Very desperate, and it worked. They won, but that line.
I didn't see that fake coming.
No, 4th and 26, and it was a makeable field goal. That's desperation. Yeah. I'm sorry. They knew that they couldn't go 0-2 like the Saints and still go forward.
The Saints were 0-2
this season, but but they were much better in this week, and they made the Bears look a lot worse.
Yeah.
So.
Well, see, the Bears. The problem with the Bears is always the same. If you have a team with enough defensive talent and they make the decision, you know what? We're pinning our ears back. I don't believe in these free agents. I don't believe in these rookies. I don't believe in this offensive unit yet. To hell with that. I don't believe that Cutler can make good decisions on a regular basis. I'm coming after his ass, and he's gonna have to burn me for us to lose this game. Oh, Cutler gets hit twice. He goes into Pau Cutler mode. I'm tired of getting hit, y'all. I'm tired of y'all not blocking. So now
that's not offensive pass interference. Of course, he dropped it.
And now I'm just gonna play like shit for the rest of the game.
Oh no, I
got a problem with Cutler.
I know, but you gotta watch it closer. The guy has no chance half the plays.
I know.
Especially when Forte goes down. It's like, I don't even have a dump off anymore.
Yeah,
now Khalil Bell's back, he'll have that.
Yeah.
And it's not for me to defend Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
I would have been punching offensive linemen 2 seasons ago. Fuck a shove. I'm kicking motherfuckers. I mean, they are putrid. There's 3 really good football teams that have 3 really bad offensive lines, and we'll get to them later.
Yeah,
but that's going to be a problem.
That is going to eventually be a problem.
They out-sucked Green Bay's offensive line. I mean, that's what it came down to.
Yeah, that does say something, and that's something that's going to be scary because that's going to be scary going forward with Chicago. Like now you got your running back that you use for everything is hurt. And I like Michael Bush, but you can't use him for everything.
No, Khalil Bell, we love him, so that was a necessary. I don't know how he didn't get signed,
but I don't know whether he's been sitting around not eating since.
I doubt.
I don't know.
He's a smart.
I'm assuming he's a good kid.
I think he went to a good school. I think he's yeah. He knew Lovey was gonna get that call in.
Maybe so. We'll see.
So I had him 4th. We all have him Green Bay.
Green Bay. I had him 5th.
I have them 6th because I believed in the old man and New England.
Right.
I still want to give them so much credit based on their staff, based on the volume of cussing that's happening like right now.
Right.
Like people are in rooms.
But you
with
can't
them getting cussed
make
out
offensive linemen decent.
Like I want to believe that these things are fixable.
So you had Denver 4.
I have and then New England.
Okay, because I have Denver 5. Because like you, I assume they'll win tonight.
Yeah.
but not looking so good so far.
Let's see how that works.
So where do you have
Just make
Denver?
it matter.
I hadn't gotten down that far yet because my phone crashed while I was typing them in. But they're out of my top 6.
Okay.
Because I have Green Bay 5, New England 6.
Okay.
We didn't get to my 4.
Who's your
Go
4?
ahead.
Arizona for beating you?
The team playing Denver right now.
Atlanta.
Fools go, you rolling
The
with that.
Fugos go super awesome.
I had them 6 last week, and there was a lot of regression toward the mean this week with a lot of the teams that we had in the top 11.
Well, it's looking good so far.
So since they haven't played, they move up.
Right.
Well, I dropped them off of, I have them at I can't be accused of hating on them number. I have Atlanta at 7.
I have them at 8.
Because I can't be accused of hating on them if
Right,
I got
well,
them at 7.
Right, and losing to Peyton and the Broncos is nothing to be ashamed of, which is, again, what I assume will happen tonight.
And the Chiefs got raked over the coals by the Bills, who I was ready to throw the Bills off a cliff too. But then they showed up and they killed the Chiefs. And whatever stats you can pull up from the Chiefs is a lie. Because they got all of that shit in the second half of the fourth quarter.
So
the
scary.
game was completely
Because who do we play this week?
Yeah.
The Chiefs come in and beat us?
No.
I'm done for life.
Burn that place
It's gotta be
down.
over.
It's over.
It's gotta be over.
If we lose that, and the line, Vegas still believes in us. I'll get to that, obviously, when we make our picks.
I hope it's not disrespectful.
No, to the Chiefs. They still believe in us. Somebody has to.
I guess.
But so 6th, I had Baltimore. We went over that. So y'all had 6th. You had.
That's where I put the Packers at. I'm still
Yeah, we
hating,
went over
but
that.
they
I
got
had
out
New
the
England
cover.
6.
You had New England 6.
Yeah.
We'll go over New England. I dropped New England a 9.
Ouch.
It's unforgivable to lose that game. And like I said
really is.
before, this is another good team with a bad offensive line. And I said that in the preview. That could they went into the season with 3 guys either hurt or PUP'd or
And that's
eligible
like,
to
man,
PUP. The one Waters retired, I think, right?
Or he just said, nah, I don't feel like showing.
Right. So that's some stuff that you can't overcome, and especially not with a defense you can count on. And they may very well be a better defense than we think. They have shown some good. They've had good outings in the first 2 games, but it was Arizona and it was
Tennessee.
Right. So these aren't 2 teams who scored before that.
Yeah.
So it could be an anomaly, but that's where I had, and you had New England.
I had New England down to 5 because of
five,
Old Man.
okay.
I put Old Man and them up ahead of them. I still want to believe they're going to get this
And Old
worked out.
Man is Peyton.
And I see all of the problems y'all see with
Tammy.
New England, and if they screw me again, then I'll be more afraid. But with Arizona,
I know, but Arizona's part of that before we knew.
but Arizona has a
Let's go to play him
deceptive.
again.
Arizona,
That secondary is ridiculous.
overnight, the NFC West became one of the best divisions in football.
I was gonna
mean,
comment on
you
that.
know, I mean, it kind of
They
has.
signed everybody signed 2 guys, and people are tired of being told they suck and they're playing for their ass now. I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, if you could combine, I think San Francisco's fine, but if you can almost give Seattle's offense to, well, actually, their defense is, I don't know, it'll be interesting. But speaking of Arizona, I do have them 7th. I had to move them up. Upset of the year came early this year, and with that D, they'll be in every game this year, every game.
Upset the year until week 3.
No, I don't think there'll be a bigger 14 points. Will there be a bigger line? Well, when the Chiefs beat us, the line will be 14, asshole. That's a 14-point line. You have to eat that one, sir. Eat your crow, and it comes in the form of a cardinal.
I'm guessing we can get more than a 14-point line against, let's see.
Not yet.
Not anymore.
I'll find somebody.
Not anymore. But that's who I have 7th.
I got Philly 7th.
7th, okay. A little less respect than
A little less.
what we give them. I mean, they beat the Ravens. And had to.
A win is a win, and I didn't have them ranked at all last week, and I had jokes for them last week because they looked
got it
horrible
either.
against Cleveland. I put them up. I put them in there. They got 2-2.
So that's who you have 7th?
I have them 8th. I have them behind Fool's Gold.
Okay. So yeah, they got the Falcons 7th.
So I have Falcons 7. I have Eagles 8.
And I have the Falcons 8. And then I have the Patriots 9. We went through there. And then 10, 11, 12. I think have we covered everybody's teams 1 through 10?
No, I have Chargers 8.
That's a shame. Beating 2 dumpster fires.
I
I think Tennessee's better than what they're
and
showing.
I got Detroit 9.
Okay, I didn't forget about Detroit. I think Art did.
I did.
Because I have Detroit 11A. Because I wanted to mention the Steelers as well. I have them 11B. But my 10th is Seattle. 76 percent completion percentage.
Woo!
That efficiency, that defense, that special teams, they're gonna win some games in
Now,
Seattle.
who was that with that percent?
Let's I forget his name. Oh, Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russell Wilson. Yeah, that guy lost.
So he understands immediately that defense is there, is what's gonna win them games, and he knows I don't need to take chances. Rod Marshawn Lynch, who's had, I think this last week he was a monster. The Cowboys, who held a team that's obvious of 500 yards passing and whatever their total offense was. Seattle just
shut them down,
managed them, and so I have Seattle 10th. I had to put them in there.
I got them right.
They're 1-1, but they lost their team I have at 7.
Yeah, I had Seattle not quite making it. I have Denver 10 and Arizona 11.
Arizona 11. Arizona's in there.
I like both of those teams that y'all have, like Arizona and Seattle. I'm still waiting and seeing because Seattle's defense is disciplined and well coached, and they don't randomly give away
Who the hell is that
57
coach?
yards.
What defense? Oh, I guess it's Pete Carroll.
And it's like we don't give away
Listen.
57-yard touchdowns 3 or 4 times a game. And with the Cowboys, that's what they need to do to win. If they can't get 3 or 4 random jackass plays, they can't win.
Right.
And what happened yesterday is, hey, no random 50-yard plays for you. What you got?
And I think we all took Seattle in
In the
our
picks?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Art and I took Dallas.
I think we took Dallas because we were scared because Seattle's like our offense.
because I said Seattle's great at home.
They are.
But that doesn't matter. Y'all were both.
Yeah,
they were both leaps and bounds better than me for the week.
I remember how it went. You said Seattle's great at home, and I said I agree. So I'll take Dallas.
Exactly. That's exactly how it went. But I do have Detroit. Like I said, Seattle's 10 for me. Detroit's still, there's no shame in losing to these 49ers these days, especially in formerly known as Candlestick, whatever they call it now. And I had to put the Steelers in 11B because I wanted to make this point. They're a much different team when Ryan Clark's on the field than Troy Polamalu's not.
Of course.
And not vice versa, like week 1.
Disappointed in myself.
James Harrison wasn't healthy either, and they still...
So
it's not like the Jets are great on offense, but they scored 48 the week before. So so it seems like Kansas City is your elixir for bad defense. We'll find out this week.
Get well soon.
So, right. I'm not ready. The Chargers, I don't know who Tennessee or Oakland are right now, so I'm not ready to put the Chargers in. And the Giants should have lost yesterday, and the Cowboys shouldn't have laid an egg. So, y'all's 10 and 11. You said you had Denver at 11.
I had Denver at 10 and Arizona at 11.
Okay. I don't have much to tell you. I hate the Chargers. I think
I can't put them yet. I know. Yeah. But you have them high, at 9 or something.
I put them 9 because they're 2-0 and they won these games. What the hell is the old man doing?
He's doing what he...
That's 3 picks.
I think he thinks it's a playoff game.
Yeah, he thinks it's a playoff game. Oh, this is important. I got to start making fuck up throws.
He's 9-1 in his last 10 starts of Monday Night Football.
He thinks it's 1999.
He got a look on his face like you didn't run the right certain route that I called. You didn't see when I clapped twice.
For y'all at home, Manning just threw his 3rd pick. We're not even halfway through the
there's
first.
a flag though.
Yeah, illegal sucking.
Probably.
By the biggest man in the biggest forehead on the field.
Anyway, you were saying. Right?
Yeah, sorry.
I was saying
He's got the Chargers at 9.
The Chargers are 9 because they're 2-0, and I can't. Look, I can't hate on this because they're doing this with a piecemeal offense, and when they get their people back, they're gonna be better on offense somehow.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, and then you get
the defense is stopping the run now, and
you get Meacham a little bit more installed, and he manages to not get hurt somehow. And Malcolm Floyd manages to not get hurt because he's only getting like 5 passes thrown his way.
Yesterday he had like 8 catches.
Yeah, but at some point, Antonio Gates will show up again. I don't love him no more.
Allegedly.
And then he'll leave the game.
Right, allegedly.
And he'll leave the game with he'll invent a new injury like Gates.
Madden thumb. There you go.
Gatesitis.
I have Madden thumb.
Gateitis.
But he strained his gaterial ligament.
Yes, I'm rolling with that's awesome. I'm rolling with that until I get proven wrong. I got the Giants at 10. They suck, but hey, if they got that offense going, Tampa's probably bad on D, but they let a lot of people get behind them and they gave up a lot of.
But we could say that. And,
exactly.
It's so much. The transitive property never seems to work in the NFL. And I get caught up in trying to apply it.
Daisy chain.
And it just never works. Right, and it never works. Cause
I put the Skins at 11 because I feel like if Garcon was alive for that game, they would have won.
Or if Josh Morgan doesn't
Yeah.
to have a temper tantrum, throw the football. I think you have to do a lot for these replacement refs to call that on you.
How?
But that was enough, and then they missed the field goal.
How released?
Because Shwami's gone. Who's that kicker now? Who is it? Oh, it's Cundiff.
Cundiff,
All
yeah.
right, fine. So in the dome, he makes 5 against us. He gets a chip shot and he misses. Fuck that guy.
Hey, we had our own missed field goal.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
At least it was outside.
Look, if Garcon plays, I think they still win that game. And yeah, even with
Josh Morgan tried to drop that long touchdown that Griffin laid up to him. Griffin's the real. I'm glad to see that at least.
That kid is good, man, and I'm believing that. And yeah, this is the first month, so we could end up being totally.
Sam Bradford's not the real.
No, but
Cheers.
but Shanahan.
Spear chucker.
But if you give him 2 weeks,
Those guys are wide open.
and he had 2 weeks to throw the ball.
Right.
When he's not under duress, then he becomes average.
Yeah. So
He's average when he's not under duress. Besides that, he may as well be Kevin Cobb.
right.
But yeah, the Skins, I'm believing it. These defensive injuries are gonna be bad, but
Huge.
Garcon will be back, and it'll still be in the first month, and they'll be hell to deal with.
Right.
So I'm dealing with that.
Okay. Well, that concludes that top 11 from that week. The top power rankings, and we'll go on to the Whim Hits, which is our weekly picks versus the spread.
Whew.
And last week,
I don't know.
last week I was 4-11 because I clearly have no idea what's going on in this league. Stefan 8-7 again. We all, and then Art 7-8, and this is not including the Monday night game.
Oh shit! It's looking
I'm
bad.
currently losing.
Did that count the Cincy game? Did you give us credit for that one?
Yeah, because the line moved, but
The line moved.
I took Cleveland, and y'all both took Cincy.
Yeah, and we each said
was-
they'll win by a touchdown.
Right, right. Because it was 3, but it ended up being 5.
And then 7.5 by I think
Right.
by game time. So I was like, oh,
no,
shit,
we don't. We will go by win week.
Yeah,
So-
like Vegas would. You know,
Right,
if we-
exactly.
like
We
Vegas.
placed the bet
Yeah.
Monday night.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, y'all got it. I
Cool,
didn't.
I'll take it.
But we'll go with
Thank you, Mr. Coin.
this week, and we'll start with the Giants head to Carolina, fresh off their 510-yard passing performance and Carolina's defeat of a disaster. -1, the Giants favored by a point. This is a tough one.
So wait, what is the problem with the Giants? They give up big plays. Is that their problem?
They
Is that what they do wrong?
they sure have. I mean that's Dallas and Tampa both did that too.
So what do the Panthers kind of?
So, well, I don't know. They just beat our
They got
ass.
big play threats.
They kind of got big play threats,
Yeah, they kind of do.
and this is at home. This
This
is tough.
This is at Tampa.
No,
mean,
it's
this
at,
is
at
at
Carolina.
Carolina.
Giants
Oh,
at
sorry,
Carolina.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to trust. I put the Giants at 10 because they won Super Bowl last year and they put up an ass load of yards, and they came back. I'm going Carolina.
Yeah, as am I.
Yeah, me too.
I have to because
It's
we
regular
have to.
season.
We can't be that shitty.
The Giants don't play well in the regular season.
right.
So, yeah.
And
This is still their bad month, by the way.
Yes.
right, and then Buffalo heads to Cleveland as 3-point favorites, and that's about right.
Yeah, it feels about right.
But Cincinnati did a little bit more on offense against Cleveland than I thought they would, and Buffalo seems to understand that C.J. Spiller is the real. So
that's a nice discovery.
yeah, and I'll lean on him, and I've got the Bills here because I have them winning 10 games. This is a game that I probably had them winning. They have to win this game and by a field goal or 6 or 7 or 30. It's about right.
passing attack is still kind of struggling.
But Fitzgerald looked a lot better this week
Patrick.
against yeah.
You said Fitz.
I know. I always
Yeah.
call him that.
Yeah, good. You know
Well,
Fitzgerald was shitty this week. But whatever.
nah, right.
It
Well, it wasn't
his
his fault. Yeah,
quarterback.
right.
But yeah, Fitzpatrick looked a little bit better.
Vic's Patrick.
And Vic Patrick looked like he was clear, like, I can't throw 3 picks today. So if it's bad, I'm just tucking and running. And he's good.
Well,
at
and
tucking
they had a
running. You
couple
remember?
drops. Chandler dropped
Yeah.
a touchdown, I think.
Yeah, but he's getting better because he knows he can't throw that many interceptions. And hopefully he remembers that. And no Joe Hayden. Hopefully Steve Johnson is not, like, still hurting.
Stevie J.
Stevie J had 2 catches and he had a long touchdown to kind of save his day fantasy-wise.
Did Mario Williams do anything? Is he still?
I didn't see.
I didn't see
It was on, but
Right.
the game was never close.
the game was
Which it
never
better
close.
be with the next Chiefs game. Rat bastards.
I'll take Buffalo because I said they were going to win 10.
Yeah, we have them as the wild card.
And I was ready to throw them off a cliff, and then at least they showed up and looked acceptable.
Which means the Chiefs are really bad.
Or
until this week.
We are so setting the stage for this, right? I mean, but yeah, come on, man. Shit.
Yeah, I got Buffalo too.
Okay. -8. We all do. Clean sweep.
I'm sort of thinking, okay, how bad are the Chiefs really? And then
we'll learn this week.
What was Buffalo's week 1 just a total aberration? You know, because I do think
it could be.
They're a better team.
The Jets came out with something to prove.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So
Buffalo.
that's fair. And then we move on. The 2-0 49ers hit the road again. Go to Minnesota. 8-point favorites.
You know I like Minnesota more than I should. That ain't fair.
And it's 8, and I'm wavering here because I think these are the games with good teams kind of, approach it. Or no, or take a lackluster approach.
Oh, okay, and play down
especially on the road.
Yeah.
After coming off those 2.
And maybe that happens more at home when you're more comfortable. I don't know. I'm San Francisco till they burn me. I'm taking the 49ers, even with the 8. Nothing that I see in San Francisco in Minnesota really has shown me anything. They've lost to 2 bad teams, right? Jacksonville and aren't they 0-2?
Indy, yeah.
How about they beat Jacksonville?
They actually
by a field goal.
Jacksonville.
So what about the easiest schedule to start a season? Well, Indy had like the same trio somehow, but San Francisco till they burn me. For me,
I'm gonna go with Minnesota. It's at home, right?
It is. It's a new dome.
And I'm trying to think of how San Francisco has played in the dome. They just feel like an outdoor team to me,
No,
They're obviously a great team.
Yeah.
This year,
Right.
but I see a closer game than 8.
That's a really disrespectful line, and I like a lot of the pieces they have with Minnesota, but I'm going to assume that the 49ers confirm even further how good they really are, and this is a good opportunity for them to do that by beating the pants off the Vikings.
Right.
Because the Vikings have kind of been avoiding that. Percy Harvin was on the ground a little bit more than I would like. They were using him every play. They were using him every play.
Because they know that's their best offensive weapon.
He's awesome. But they were using him every play, and he was looking all tired and hurt. And at some point, that's going to be a problem. And Peterson looked a little bit more like a dude coming off of a bad knee.
Right, and that's fair.
And with that being a situation, maybe in this defense is not playing around. So I go 49.
Yeah, I agree. And then Detroit heads to Tennessee. 3-point favorites. A lot of road favorites this week.
I'm going Lions.
Yeah,
the Lions, right? I mean, the Lions haven't.
Oh, I'm going Detroit.
The Lions haven't showed up yet, and they haven't had that.
But
game.
they won week 1, and you lose at San Francisco by a touchdown. That's forgivable.
It's forgivable. Their offense has really been taking its time clicking, and they're working out running backs right now, trying to get running backs. They get LaSure back. They know they've got issues with this not being able to run the ball thing, and they know everybody is dead set on not getting beat by Calvin.
Right, and that cursed Tennessee, so they might not win a game.
Yeah,
the Saints might not either. But
I know Tennessee has lost to a team we know is good and a team that might actually be good in San Diego.
Right,
but 3 points. I think Detroit can cover that.
Yeah, they look bad. They can't. They look like they still. We talked about run blocking before the season. It looks like it's not there. You talked about having concerns about CJ2Ks or CJ1Ks.
Or CJ1.
And then he's pointing other people out. We got to do our job.
You got to do our job. It's why don't you quit tap dancing?
I see some holes. Siobhan Riggin needs to do his job and get healthy.
Yeah, why don't you just run straight for once and get the 5 yards? He's already been called out on that, but he's still dance fevering in the backfield.
Turner scored the touchdown.
Yes. Turner scored the touchdown.
All right.
So
on 3 carries for 1.
I'm going Lions. This is time for the Lions to get it together. And plus, that was a good little hug there too. If you saw what Harbaugh did with Swartz, that was a good nice pat. It wasn't really too harsh. No, I think everything was fine.
I was 3 sheets, but
yeah,
I woke up and checked my phone. Pettigrew scored. Awesome.
I saw the little highlights. It was a nice little tender hug, so he should be fine.
But pre and post game.
Yeah, good.
But this is one of the more interesting lines. Since he goes to Washington, 4-point dogs.
Ow.
Ooh. So I'll lead it. Since he wins that game, they got to be better than
mucho respect for.
I like Cincinnati.
Washington.
This is McGahee running his old ass.
Don't get hurt.
It is respect for Washington. You lose to the Rams? That's criminal. That's what we did last year. That's criminal. Sorry. The Bengals have to do better. And if Josh Morgan can have the game he had, AJ Green certainly can. And they'll get the running game going back again in Cincy, the law firm. Big time injuries in that Washington defense.
That's scary. That's why I'm having a problem right now.
And we're getting points. The Bengals, I'm going with Cincy.
Yeah, I got Cincy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, losing a Ruckpo and...
that's so scary.
Yeah. That other guy.
Character. The other guy who I've heard was good.
The other end, right. Character.
Yeah, that's...
Character.
Starters on a decent defense.
And the Bengals... I think the Bengals gave up enough big plays in Week 1 to where they should be aware, and that's what the Redskins are going to need. So I'll go Cincy too.
And they have the linebacker play to corral RG3, who had I think 72 yards rushing or 82 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah.
This past week. The Rams have white linebackers, so oops.
That would explain.
Right, and then this is the second most interesting line. Chiefs, come to the Dome. My Dome.
Oh, do I have to talk about
Mahomes, sweet Dome. 10-point dog.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Vegas still believes. Do I? Fuck no. The Chiefs, because I need to see it before I believe it. Do I think we'll win? We better. Or, put me on noose notice. Nah, I'll be fine. But 10 points is a lot. And
That is a lot.
And I'll take the Chiefs. Just in the least, I hope it's a reverse jinx.
I will go with the Saints.
Oh,
Because this is what I actually think is going to happen is they're going to...
Desperation.
They're going to unleash a lot of frustration on that D. And if their D just holds KC to like 21, it'll be a 17-21 point win. So.
We getting greedy with that. Look, the Kansas City's offense looks like a mess.
Remedial.
They look a mess
But our
until
defense
teams don't care anymore. But they look a mess until the other defense is all over it.
And let me go back to the transited property, right? Tampa held Carolina to 10.
7, I thought. Or was it 10?
Something like that. Something like that.
It was light.
It was 7 for a lot of the
Then
game.
gave up 41 to the Giants.
Oops.
Right.
Which then Carolina scored 34 on us. I don't know.
Well,
Again, I say
with
transitive
Saints.
property is not the best way.
I'm not going with transitive property at all. I'm going with the Saints defense actually not being that bad, just not being well suited to defend a running quarterback. Because that's what Carolina and Washington have in common.
You bastard, you gave me hope.
Yes!
How about
You've given me hope.
Matt Castle will stand still and allow himself to be hit, and he will make bad throws.
You're giving me hope. I hate you.
Dwayne
But love
Bowe-
you, all in the same.
Yes, Dwayne Bowe will drop passes. Like, all of this will happen. And Jamal Charles will try to run straight and it won't go well. And Peyton Hillis will try to run straight and it won't go well. They'll run McCluster across the middle of the field and hope he breaks 9 tackles, but he weighs 140 and he's not. Come on, Saints. Shit. Cover. Quit fucking around.
10. So.
Quit. Come on, Saints.
10 large points.
All right.
Saints, come on.
All
This
right.
is it. Because I agree. This is it.
Was it Noose watch?
Not news watch, but come on. It's news for that season watch.
Oh, it is. We
Because
might already be
next
dead.
week they got Green Bay. Because come on
If
now.
Atlanta starts 3-0, 3-0, we might already be dead. We're not. I never think that. Don't believe that. The Jets travel to Miami. 3-point favorites.
Jets at Miami, 3-point favorites. I'm all over the Jets.
Miami's a better
Miami showed
road
us-
team.
Well,
But they did just demolish
they showed
the
us a lot
Raiders, who
last
apparently are the worst team in
at
football.
home, and maybe it's still
The
humid
Titans
in
don't want
Miami.
to talk to
And,
you about that.
Hey, I'm not
But,
done. I'm not done.
I'm going with
Tennessee.
the bounce, the regression to the mean property, which is Jets.
Yeah, I'm not going
couldn't
to
get it done
forget.
last
I'm not
week.
going to forget the Dolphins suck. I'm
Right,
just
yeah.
not. I can't.
Jets didn't get it done last week against Pittsburgh. Miami overperformed last week against Oakland. Going with the Jets.
Yeah, I am too. I can't forget that my bold prediction was for the coach to be fired. Reggie Bush. That's the miracle that a team like that needs.
Yeah.
To win games like that, and that's why it
Tannehill
happened.
got a little bit under control too, which was kind of scary. But
We talked about Oakland's defense going in.
Yeah.
I can't name somebody
And
on
now
there.
they
It's a
don't
bad defense.
Michael Huff.
Yeah. They got.
I can't name anybody on there.
Hey,
If you're going to
they
name
got-
LSU guys, I can name you two guys.
I know, but Mana's so much better.
Yeah.
A lot of Pro Bowlers.
Huff's not bad.
Rookie. But, come on. He's been
He's been serviceable.
No, they actually tried to cut him twice, and then he took pay cuts.
Didn't work. What? He have pictures?
He's a bad
naked pictures.
He might have pictures.
He came into the league a little overrated, but he's not bad, but he's not what they thought he was going to be. He was a high draft pick.
He's not a superstar now.
And he was every year he was on the watch list for being cut.
He got drafted that high because of that tackle.
This is how sad it is. Quentin Jam is a better argument.
Whoa.
I just went there. A much better argument. So
give me Jets and let's go.
Yeah, that's a sweep.
Meanwhile,
all right. Now there's no line on this game yet, and I think it's because one that it might be a pick'em.
Yeah.
Two, Freeney might be available. I don't know. But Jacksonville at Indy. Just treat it as a pick'em, and Indy's got to be better. Right?
Don't they? All right.
Yeah, I'm
Andrew Luck in his third week. He's fine.
Because Indy beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
Jacksonville transitive property back again. But it's Indy at home. Two bad teams. I'll take the home team.
Yeah, I will too.
I think you got to. I'm fine with that.
And then we moved to
Gabbert played last week.
And this one's interesting.
Somehow hurt too.
This one's interesting too. It's Dallas hosts Tampa, favored by 7. Dallas favored by 7.
Disrespect to them.
It really
of the Bay.
It is a little bit for
the
me.
Lesser Bay.
And if they can hit the road and play as well as they played at home, I'm not saying they can. Wasn't that game in Tampa last week against the Giants? No,
it was at.
So they can. So yeah, it's Tampa. I'm taking Tampa here. I think Dallas wins, but Tampa's had 2
decent games,
impressive weeks.
Yeah,
for what I thought they were.
Yeah, if you're gonna give up big plays, though,
7's a lot.
Dallas is a bad team to play against when you have a problem with giving away big plays.
That's true. Ogletree was corralled by Seattle. And Seattle's a better defense, obviously.
Yeah, they're disciplined, and they don't give up big plays.
But the Buccaneers were still able to muster 34 points against the Giants, who some people think is a good defense.
Yeah.
Moreno's so cut.
Moreno. How is he?
At least Decker is like their best player ever. He's recovering fumbles 12 yards downfield.
So will the Eagles lead the league in turnovers after this game?
Old man is making it hard. I'm gonna take the Cowboys against my better judgment. I love Douglas Martin, but I don't know. I don't think so. I think the Cowboys will be back at home. They need it. They're gonna feel like they need a win and not end up in one of those Cowboy ruts where we have to watch everybody say what's wrong with the Cowboys for 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, I am with that the size of that line. I'm concerned because the Cowboys' offense just hasn't shown me that much thus far.
Yeah.
And so until I see that with that size line, I'll go with Tampa.
Tampa.
I hope you're right.
No, that's how I see it. Like I said, I still think Dallas wins.
Yeah, Dallas probably won a close one, but 2 or 3. But yeah.
And then St. Louis heads to Chicago, 9-point dogs. The Rams.
No respect.
No, and I get it, but the Rams have a pass rush. I mean, Howie Long's son, he's roared it up. He's ready to go. If you can get out to Cutler, you can get out to the Bears. The Bears win the game, but not by 9. I've got the Rams and the spear chucker from OU.
Let's see.
I don't love it, but
9 points again. That's a lot.
It is, especially when you have no offensive line.
Yeah.
And who'd they beat in week 1? The Bears. They
beat Indy.
Exactly. So yeah,
relatively handily.
Right.
But
St. Louis might be a lot better than we thought at the beginning of the season.
That's false, but
clearly
they're just better. We thought they were really bad,
well,
so maybe a lot better is
a lot
fair.
better is like 6 and 10.
Right.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That defense looks to be well installed. Finnegan is out there making jackass plays left
and
right.
making receivers make jackass plays after the play.
Thank you, Josh Morgan.
Right.
Thank you, Josh. How is Josh Morgan still on that team? He should be so released. Anyway.
But he signed a multi-year contract before the season.
Well, and he was a huge part of their success.
He had 5 catches.
He had a long touchdown. He tried to drop it, but he did.
Yeah, he succeeded at dropping another pass.
Yeah, I mean, the 9's big, even at home. If they cover, I wouldn't be shocked because I don't like the Rams.
Yeah, but it was the Rams are pulling jokes right now. We haven't talked about the Steven Jackson situation, but Steven Jackson he spiked the ball when he thought he had a touchdown.
Fumble.
He ate a unsportsmanlike penalty, 15 yards, and then he was never to be seen from again.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline is that he got a groin. Now, you know Jeff Fisher is the super
disciplinarian.
nice guy.
Well, no,
but he plays the super nice guy that doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I wouldn't dare bench Steven Jackson, but I think he benched the hell out of Steven Jackson. And who knows if that carries into another week.
Well, it's not like it's an ongoing thing. That's Steven Jackson's first mistake ever.
Yeah. So who knows if that was just a one-game thing, though? Like, if he's on a short leash.
Well, Steven Jackson's hurt. This 9 makes a lot more sense.
Yes. And if you,
I still roll with
the way they dealt with Luck is they got after him and they put him under pressure. Now, you know, as much as we talk about Sam Bradford, the one thing he can't be is under pressure. So based on that, I'm going to take the Bears for this because they will make a decision to get Bradford under pressure.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick. I mean, with Forte hurt, you want to put the Bears down a little lower. You know, with Cutler's performance last week, you want to put him down a little lower. But I see Bradford being totally lost in this game, and so I'm going with the Bears.
All right, y'all are both wrong. But no, I'm saying based on prior performance, y'all are both right.
Half the time,
right? Well, no, I mean, but if I think otherwise, Philly goes to Arizona, 4-point favorites.
That's a crazy game right there, man. Because the Browns.
Philly's luck's got to run out at some point, right?
And the Browns defense is designed to.
Oh, the guy's son died, but shit.
Yeah, that offense is horrendous.
Which Arizona's
Cardinals offense, yeah.
That's fair.
At some point, that has.
But
to be
the
a
special
problem,
teams defense creates stuff.
They create stuff, and I think they'll be.
Skelton might be available. So.
That I don't know. It's interesting for all those reasons. Let's assume Skelton doesn't play. That means that offense is horrible, and the Eagles can put up. They put up
20 points.
They put up random big plays.
18 points. Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Yeah, they put up random big plays. And based on random big plays, I think that'll be enough to beat the Cardinals.
And Zona's one of my horses I'm riding until they burn me because I only had like 4. If you look at last week's picks, but I've got Zona.
I should go with Arizona just out of respect, but I'm going with Philly because what I'm looking for here is maybe not getting as many yards as they've been getting the last 2 games, but actually taking care of the ball a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, and
like 3 turnovers instead of 5.
Arizona's offense was not good against the Pats defense that we still have a lot of suspicions about. And their defense and special teams set them up with short scoring drives, and I don't think you can rely on that. So yeah, Philly.
Okay, that's y'all two have Philly. I have Arizona. I'll ride until they burn me.
I like that secondary so much, but I hate that offense almost as much.
Mm-hmm. And Atlanta heads to San Diego. This is another line that hadn't been posted, and I had to change it a little bit based on this
early
this first quarter. I'll say Atlanta heads to San Diego as a 1-point favorite. They win tonight, they'll be favored in that game.
I think you're right.
Yeah, 1 or 2 points. I mean.
Am I wrong about food? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I don't like them on the road, so I don't care what the line is as long as it's reasonable. We're going to be wrong either way. We're either wrong about the Chargers or wrong about the Falcons.
Right, yeah.
But based on this given scenario, what I think about these teams are one's good at home. Well, they're both good at home. They're both not as good on the road. So I'll take the home team in this, and I'm going with the Chargers. Brian Matthews comes back, sparks an offense. Doesn't really need a spark. And Rivers doesn't have to chuck it downfield, doesn't have to do things he doesn't have to do outside of the box, under pressure, because they don't pressure the quarterback. These 3 picks in the first quarter are an anomaly, I promise. And I think the Chargers win the game.
The thing that's scary.
Because I can't ever pick the Falcons ever.
Yeah,
so.
Very right.
That's what I'm struggling with. But I'm seeing the old man give it up. Who is the heavyweight champion of the world of throwing fucked up passes and throwing interceptions? Phillip Rivers.
I know.
And if the Falcons are going to be hanging out doing this to people,
those were bad. The first one was a tip, and that was.
But he tipped it. I thought he tipped it to himself. The linebacker.
No, the receiver
it was the
coughed it out. Yeah, the first one was was bad. I don't even know if it was caught, but we're dealing with replacement officials.
Yeah,
This-
right.
Oh no, the very first one. Like,
Yeah,
the first
yeah,
play
yeah,
from
yeah.
He didn't pick that off. No.
Oh, they didn't call
it
it?
was
Okay.
incomplete, yeah.
So they returned the pick. The second, so he's thrown 4, basically.
Essentially, yeah. But yeah, the first one would not have been his
What a
fault. if it had
punk
been a
bitch.
pick.
Wow,
Yeah.
the old man.
Can I change my Denver pick? Did I even pick Denver?
Not yet.
Okay, we're not there
Yeah,
yet.
we're not
there
No,
yet.
they're playing the Texans, so I won't change that. All right.
I'm struggling with picking the Falcons, but these interceptions, if they're going to be catching interceptions and shit, that's bullshit. They need to cut that out. Because I'm going to end up being wrong about them if they start doing that too. Let's go Chargers. Let's assume that they got it together. I don't love Antonio Gates because he doesn't love me, and I know it. I ain't counting on him. I'm counting on the other people.
1 point for the
Your
Falcons.
conference? Is that... I don't know. I mean, that's my guess.
The
1 or
NFC
2.
is better. I'm going with the Falcons.
The ATL. Racist.
Really? That's what you got.
Anti-racist.
This is all horrible.
And Pittsburgh goes to Oakland. 5-point favorites. I mean, seriously,
That's
is this
not
even? Is this even?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I mean, is this even a conversation?
That's not enough. Because they haven't been Palmerized yet. It's
No.
not time for that.
Yeah, I mean, they can't run the ball.
Oakland's had 2 of the ugliest losses
Yeah,
in the first 2 games. You know, we can't snap a
we can't do
a long
shit,
snap
and then we
game,
can't.
and then we can't hold Miami in check.
Right. I mean, that's that's embarrassing. And this is another line. I'm guessing. I might change it again a little bit. So Houston goes to Denver. What do y'all think the line would be?
Oh, man.
Houston at Denver.
Houston will be favored, right?
You think? Based if they lose tonight, yeah.
Especially if they lose ugly like
But if
this.
not, I had Denver as a 2-point favorite if they would have won tonight. Like
The
we
way
thought.
Denver looks right now, turning the ball over and shit. I mean, it'd probably be a pick 'em.
Right.
Oh, Matt Ryan, cut it out. Oh.
And he's short of the
He's
first
short
one.
though, yeah.
But cut it out.
So yeah, if I assume that's a pick 'em, I will still go with Denver. I don't care if Denver's favored by 2, I'll still take Denver.
Yeah, so will I. It's
Apologies to the Texans fans, but yeah.
well, no, and this is their first test, you know.
Yeah.
This is the first test.
And especially if Denver loses tonight, the urgency will be picked up a
They're
little
going to
bit.
be pissed. Yeah, they should
Right.
be.
They should be pissed, and you shouldn't be able to show up doing the same thing over and over and be able to deal with Peyton.
Right, and I think Denver's defense is better than people think, because even going into the season, they didn't credit them for a great season a year ago under a Tebow-led offense.
Right.
And this is not their fault. This 10 points are not their fault. It should be at least 14. And honestly, I don't think that first touchdown was a touchdown. But
Yeah.
Oh, he was in.
And you
Yeah, I don't
figure-
want to talk
you
about
figure
it. I didn't
over-
ask you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They overturned it.
No,
And then he scored on the next play.
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You
But
figure the old man
Screw
gets it together at home.
you don't understand. Atlanta can always go fuck themselves.
Accidental
The ATL.
yardage. I'm sick.
Oh,
of
he
these
stepped
dudes.
out
I'm
after
sick
the
of these dudes. I don't believe it.
All right, next.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
Give me the Broncos, but I don't know why.
Because we all want them. We have the
Bronx.
Texans in the AFC Championship. All right, New England goes to Baltimore.
Oh crap.
Oh.
+3. New England's
We are
2-point dogs.
We are dogs.
Ravens. I
And it might be a push, but yeah, I got Baltimore
I
too.
still believe.
Yeah, I can see that game being a push. But,
Right. That's always an epic battle.
yeah, just for the Ravens' ability to pressure. I think that's the difference.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they haven't lost that,
Baltimore.
even without Suggs. And
Yeah.
a Monday night game would be interesting.
It could be like a 20-17,
Right.
21-17 kind of
Right.
game.
Right, and that'll be Sunday night, I believe. And then Monday night is Green Bay heads to Seattle,
my
3.5
Man, my man.
Green Bay 3.5 point favorites over Seattle.
in Seattle.
In Seattle,
Yeah.
and who is good at home?
So I'm done. I made my pick. Even if you lose by 3,
Yeah,
that defense will get after them. I mean, the Seahawks could win this game, and if they do, we have to start rethinking a lot of things.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm
but-
already rethinking it.
Right? No, I know.
No, I'm thinking pretty hard about this.
Right. It only took 2 weeks, but
You know I love rookies.
well, because I didn't know. So Seattle lost, and the hype died. But then Arizona comes and beats the Patriots. So Arizona's pseudo the real, kind of the real. So that loss doesn't look as bad.
To paraphrase
And
the Sheik.
and then right.
And they touched up that.
And then right.
They
so
contained that.
I'm telling you, overnight that division has become relevant in a big way. Like relevant 3 playoff team relevant.
Well, and not even
Like the Saints bowing out. Like, oof, all right, I won't.
Yeah, you're
but 3 playoff team relevant. Like,
and not even if you take it that far, even if you upgrade them beyond auto win status, because right now that division outside of San Francisco was viewed as pretty much an auto win if you had a couple of good players.
right.
And now I'm not seeing it that way, and you know I love Russell Wilson. So it's Monday night. This is his first big game. Apparently Flynn won't be starting. I haven't heard the man's name.
That was mine.
Yeah, but I haven't heard the man's name. So this was before we thought Russell Wilson was going to get the start and
Right.
hold the
Well,
start.
we begged for that, but we thought what's his name would still be there. And they traded his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought Tavares Jackson
yeah.
would still be there.
Well, he's not. So
No.
let's go Seahawks. Let's take them.
Yeah,
Is it a clean sweep?
It is. I see this one being a close one. You know, probably Green Bay winning on a field goal at the last minute. You know, after the fans have been frenzied. You know, all game and like, yeah, we're gonna beat Green Bay, and then shit happens in the fourth quarter.
Unnecessary weird fumble or something.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
They're going to get after
Yeah.
Rodgers. And if Rodgers wasn't as mobile as he is, they wouldn't have survived last Thursday. But they did, and that's what matters.
They looked pretty good last Thursday.
They did, but their line looked putrid.
Well, yeah.
And they had a bunch of plays given
That's
to
the
them.
word
They
of
won-
the year.
and they won
If you
that
haven't
game.
noticed, putrid is my word of the year.
Yes, like
They won that game 23-10, so it wasn't a complete slaughter.
Right, but there were some plays. Brandon Marshall catches a touchdown. They're back in the game, and that's a ball he rarely drops.
He was cold.
Right.
He hadn't done anything all game.
Right. They didn't target him at all, too. And then they'll work on that. They'll enhance that. And
They better.
They'll probably win this week, but not cover, as I think all alluded to against the Rams. No, only I did. All right. So on to the Stump Stefan segment, NFL trivia. It's all about one game, and
I hope I know the game.
we it's not particular to it, but
Oh, okay.
it's that passing performance by the Giants. Eli at 5'10".
Norm Van
I think-
Brocklin.
No,
Oh, rats.
no, not yet.
Okay.
Who was the last to pass for 500 yards?
Oh, was that
And I've talked about this game more than once.
Matt Moore?
No.
No.
500? Matt Moore, does he have it for his
500?
career?
He had that game against the Pats where a couple years ago, I think.
I've talked about this game because it involved 2 Matts, and both threw for a lot of yards.
Oh, okay. Stafford.
Right.
Okay.
Because Flynn had like 496 in that same game.
That last game of the season.
Yeah,
They got the
17th
big
week,
contract.
yeah.
Okay.
520.
Gotcha.
Was the last time it happened.
Okay.
So this is when Van Brocklin comes in.
Ah.
The Giants had a 500-yard passer and 2 receivers over 150 yards in the same game.
Uh-huh.
Who was it and when?
Oh, okay.
Can you name the receivers? It's 1951. I don't know if you know that.
51. Shit.
Brocklin's a quarterback. I think
Yeah.
they're all Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Was shit. Who were some Giants receivers? Was
No, it was the Rams.
No. Huh?
Rams.
The Rams.
St. Louis Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Said Giants receivers.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Well, back then they were the LA Rams, right?
No.
Or the
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. No, they definitely were.
how about Elroy Hirsch?
That's Crazy Legs.
Crazy
yes.
Legs, yeah. And the other one,
Very scary. Scary guy.
very scary. Boo Radley.
No, but great book, great movie.
Yes.
Tom Fears.
Tom Fears. Okay.
I think all 3 Hall of Famers. Okay, so how many other teams in NFL history had a game with 2 receivers with at least 10 catches and 175 yards? And who was that team? If there was a team.
Okay, I'm gonna say there was one.
There's none.
None?
No.
Oh shit.
Never happened before. Giants
you
made
tricked
history.
me.
Giants made history.
First time ever. All right.
All right, now on the state of the art, our 8th segment. This is when we delve into some fantasy stuff. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but with Forte hurting and that putrid offensive line, putrid again. Is Michael Bush a viable starter?
Yeah.
The upcoming schedule, I don't know who they play, but
I'm looking at it now.
I think it's Obviously, it's the Rams at Dallas, at Jacksonville, and then a bye. So you think so?
Yeah, I think you go ahead and start Michael Bush.
What about Khalil Bell?
Khalil Bell, I think you wait. I think you got to pick him up just in case Forte brings the jokes. But
So you need double insurance.
I think you need double insurance. I think you got to treat
Supplemental insurance, maybe?
supplemental insurance because just in case they bring the jokes, or he shows back up and he cusses out Lovie Smith about getting carries before he's even healthy to play, and then they throw him off a bridge somewhere and stop using him. I mean, you got to have Khalil Bell. They brought him back for a reason. So, but I would say start Michael Bush, hang out with it because look. He finished.
So you think he'll start? You don't think they'll put Bell in that same role Forte was in?
Not yet, unless because Mike Tyson's new, right? So this is his first year, so he'll be installed. He'll know the facilities, and they'll trust him with certain things because he used to be with the team.
Right.
But I think they're gonna roll with Michael Bush because they brought him in to use him just in case something happened to Forte. They're bringing back Khalil just in case. So I think they like Michael Bush. Michael Bush will run straight, and he did the same thing with Oakland for years. They put him back in the game. He wouldn't be the same thing as McFadden. He wasn't as dynamic. But you give him the ball, you give him a hole, he runs straight, he gets yards.
North south.
Yeah. So, start Michael Bush. Yeah, especially if you lucked up and you were able to get him. And
I started him last year.
And somebody didn't jack you for
the end of the season, and he was money.
Yeah.
No, he runs hard.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. But yeah, I also agree with stashing Khalil Bell because he's a Matt Forte clone.
Yes.
Same guy. I still don't understand why he was on the streets at all.
He was making 1.1. They wanted him to move down to $700K, and he said no. And so they released him.
Yeah, but my phone will be on. Call me back.
Yeah, call me back. I'll be cool just in case.
Call me back.
Okay. So what marginal running back do you drop in order to pick up Khalil Bell?
You got a marginal.
Hopefully you have a backup quarterback, a kicker, a defense. Kicker, a defense.
A marginal back that we might have drafted, but it's like, he's not going to do shit this year.
Ryan Williams for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
like Ryan
come with the way.
Rashad Jennings.
Right.
If you haven't dropped him already. If you're sitting over there with Ronnie Hillman up on your team.
Ronnie Brown with
Ronnie Brown.
Did he score this week?
No, but what's his name coming?
He Matthews coming back.
Rosario had 2 touchdowns.
He'll probably score 5 touchdowns next game.
So with Matthews coming back, that's a guy you could dump.
Yeah, those are the people they can get rid of. You still got Evan Rust on your team. You do, don't you? I bet you do. I see you. You over there. And he's your 4th running back. And you're thinking one of these weeks you're going to get a wild hair and you're going to start him. Stop. Drop it. Don't do it. Them 3 catches ain't going to do you no good.
No.
Drop it. And then pick up Khalil Bell.
Yeah, no, I would. I think it's worth the risk, especially Forte. Once they truly define the lower high ankle sprain, it doesn't matter. They still
it's 2 to 4
drag
weeks.
you out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And speaking of 4 weeks, Aaron Hernandez,
Woo!
he's out.
Oh, that hurts.
They signed Shanko on IR. They Ballot PUP'd. Maybe it justifies all the tight ends they tried to sign, but 2, does it elevate anybody's value on their offense?
If they can't start blocking, I don't know, man. You just got to believe Gronk will get a few extra targets, and Gronk will be the one to look at. But obviously,
everybody
already did the let me draft Gronk at the beginning of the 2nd round. So if you got him, just start him and assume he's gonna get 3 more catches and be happy with yourself. I have no idea what the story is with this Welker situation, so let's wait and see every week.
I don't know what's better.
Do they got jokes? Are they mad at him? Are they trying to put him off a cliff? Like, what are we trying to do with Welker? I don't know.
I don't know what's better.
And yeah, Edelman's kind of better.
So you got the hiccups over there or something?
So with Edelman, you
just spitting truth.
But you can't be picking up Edelman and starting him with a straight face.
No, you can't.
You got to wait till you find out that Wes Welker squeezed Bill Belichick's daughter's shoulder too hard at a Christmas party or something, and they've been having him on the list ever since then. Like, you need to wait till that story comes out before you start rolling up with Edelman every week.
Right. Twitter stuff out.
Huh? What?
Twitter stuff up at all?
Oh, yeah, I hadn't, but I can.
Dante Rosario, 3 touchdowns.
Stop.
Job.
Is he worth the pickup?
Stop.
Gates is clearly hurt.
Yes.
Randy McMichael had 4 targets, as did Rosario. So equal targets.
Yeah.
Gates, mystery injury. The gate. What'd you call it? The
gaitial tendon.
Gaitial ligament.
Gaiteral ligament. Yeah.
Is that?
He has a.
What do we do with that?
His story is that he has a rib injury. I don't love him anymore.
He probably eats some ribs.
Yeah, I don't love him
Give him
anymore
one
because I
right.
know he doesn't love me. I'm done. There's other tall dudes that catch passes that play tight end. I'm done. It's over with that guy.
So but no Rosario.
No,
he did the same thing,
he did
3 years ago with the Panthers.
He did it with Carolina.
And in Denver, he wasn't even...
Yeah, he had a 10-catch, 3-touchdown game for Carolina. And everybody was like,
week
oh,
one.
my
It was
God.
like week 1, week 2 was
Yeah.
early in the season.
And then he started being
And then
hurt
there
all
was
the time.
never to be seen again.
You need another week before you mess around and
Shockey punched him or something.
Yeah,
you gotta take my job.
yeah, you can't be messing with that. You just can't.
And then finally, it's not really fantasy, but I wanted for the three of us to discuss this. Apparently, there's rumors going around that the Packers are considering trading Greg Jennings before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, I mean, he's going to have a high salary demand. He's got the injury history.
Yeah.
There's depth at the position.
Yeah.
Will this happen? I mean, there's a lot of times in NFL they don't make trades like this. You just ride him out for the year, but I think he's in a contract year. He's already coming up.
Yeah.
So if they could get anything for him, there's teams in the NFL you'll find. There's some desperate teams. I'm not sure what he makes now, but there's a desperation for Miami. Why would Miami consider this? Why wouldn't
Yeah.
So is it a viable option for other teams? You think this will happen? That'll be the biggest talk, I think, come trade deadline.
That would be quite a trade.
Yeah.
It'll be quite a trade. I believe that could and will happen. Especially considering Green Bay's situation, they can afford to do it. But because they can afford to do it, I don't know whether that means they're going to take a stance of, we know we can do this, and so everybody's gonna say, well, we know you can get rid of him, so why don't you just give him to me?
Right.
And say, oh,
second
no,
round, but you could probably get a second round pick.
even with a hurt guy though.
Well, no, he'll be. I think his injury is minor. Isn't it?
Concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's always playing injuries, and it's gonna have to be a team that I say Miami, but they're not gonna. I don't think they'll be playoff ready or even close to that.
No.
So it'll be a team that's a receiver away, and so it'll be interesting to see.
Got you.
But I just wanted. I didn't know if y'all knew that was even floating out there.
Yeah, I heard.
It makes
about
sense.
It does.
But
I didn't know how for real that was gonna be.
so speaking of for real or the real,
The real.
we go into segue. We go into the final segment. It's optional, but we're doing it this week apparently because he's on his mark, and I'll defer to Stefan for Sheik tweets.
Yeah.
Our Twitter segment.
I guess he's watching Monday Night Raw tonight. Although he posed the question,
Peyton. He loves Peyton, I think, or he hates him. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. He hasn't posted about Peyton. He does say Eli Manning is the intelligent Jew, so that's a.
Yeah, we're
That's positive.
all us white guys are Jewish.
Yeah,
I love that.
Well, today is Rosh
Can't
Hashanah,
believe it.
right?
Really?
I believe it is. I think that's why some schools are off today.
Oh.
There must have been taking off work today.
Yeah, the Sheik tweeted, the Rosh Hashanah, I respect for the Jewish people. I love you and fuck Ultimate Warrior forever.
Not his grandmother?
As a side note.
Not his grandmother?
Just the Ultimate Warrior.
Just the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, he mentioned something we mentioned earlier. Josh Morgan, you are fucked up, no good piece of shit, motherfucker.
So he's a Redskins fan.
He was watching a lot of the games yesterday.
Yeah.
He's probably like at the mez behind us. So.
Right. That would be awesome.
Ike Taylor or the Ike Turner beat his wife.
Yeah, he had a bad pass interference call.
Yeah, and Jose Canseco must be tweeting him back.
He does. No, they certainly go back and forth.
Because he had like 5 in a row.
Canseco did a promo about steroids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, Jose Canseco, you have taco dick and no balls. You are a dumb Mexican and have no money to buy underwear, you piece of shit. And then
no underwear.
Right after that, Jose Canseco, you only drive the Mexican donkey. You eat the dead cat taco. Go fuck yourself.
So he didn't like him.
The dead cat. I haven't seen the dead cat at Taco Bell.
Dead cat taco.
Even the El Rey. Not even at Hugo's when we had Grasshopper.
Even with queso, I wouldn't go for that.
Yeah. Not even with the Grasshopper.
Yeah,
Dick,
that covers the Sheik for this week.
Nice.
Well, I think that covers week 2.
You know I want to talk more, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll stop.
That's fine. Well, eventually.
I will eventually stop. Freeform fantasy football stuff.
Oh yeah.
Quit not starting Robert Griffin III, people. You're not doing it, aren't you? You're thinking about it.
Well, people
you're starting other people on.
Oh, so that's the thing is now he wasn't overdrafted. He was drafted.
Well, he's probably somebody's number 2.
That's why I'm saying.
But some
got a decent quarterback.
I know, but we
people weren't taking him.
We were harsh a little bit, and he was getting
Yeah.
picked a bit early, but the value's there.
Middle rounds.
Hey, yeah.
Quit not starting him though. I know it sounds cool to say I'm starting Phillip Rivers and I got him in the 9th round, but stop.
It's never cool to say you started.
I started Phillip Rivers and we don't got no negative points, so yeah, look
Son,
at me. I'm smart.
Get on that tractor, boy.
Rivers confused.
Yeah.
Start RG3 every time until he proves wrong.
That's the best. That's
Rushing
the
yards count. I love Russell Wilson, but don't do it.
Well, and I think RG3 believes in his rim protection thing, vest, and he's running like he does. So
Dennis Pitta too.
The Baltimore tight end.
About that time.
You know, it's time. It's been time. And I think
Mo Betta Pitta.
Flacco told us that before the season. He's like, you probably want to draft this guy. I'm going to be throwing to him.
A lot.
He's Todd Heap, reincarnated.
Nice.
So yeah.
It's about that time.
I just gave him the best nickname he's ever had.
That's good. And if somebody offers you a trade for Calvin Johnson and you don't care about the Madden cover, you need to think about that. Because it's coming. Because he doesn't have 9 touchdowns yet, and the people who
was his stat line yesterday?
What he had, like
because
7 catch, and he got around 100 again.
It couldn't scare you. Fitzgerald didn't scare you.
Yeah, I was going to say, would you trade for Fitzgerald right now?
No, I didn't know.
They'd be, selling, or you'd
for
be buying
free?
Low,
Right.
Yeah, but
and you're buying on Carl playing a game and a half. Skelton comes back. No, but Skelton comes back because his value is going to elevate.
Yeah, you do need to listen to those trades.
Yeah.
Like if you had Jordy Nelson and somebody offered you Fitzgerald 1 for 1, would you take it?
No.
I think especially if they're talking about
they had the same stat line
Greg.
last year. I think they were Jordy. I think Jordy was at about a year last year.
Yeah, less catches, more yards, and more touchdowns.
That could be a fantasy segment in the future. Would you?
This guy, that guy.
Yeah.
Just straight up trades.
Yeah. No, we're doing it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, RG3 is Pierre Thomas again. But whatever. And Torrey Smith, maybe I'm wrong. I'll just say that, and I won't go any further. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, no, Jacoby had a better matchup against Asamoah. And that's why he was. Because Asamoah was on Torrey, and then I don't know who was on Jacoby.
And it's weird because Jacoby.
Cromartie, like RG, whatever they call him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Nairobi got his touchdown on Asamoah. And
But
then one-on-one isolated.
That's why they got the call.
Oops. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's all I got. Yes, Antonio Gates, I don't believe it no more. I don't love him no more because he doesn't love me. Get another tight end. Stop.
And Jimmy Graham's. I guess Jeremy Shockey overload. But Jimmy Graham's on pace for 16 touchdowns. So
Yikes. Doug Martin.
And we're on pace for 16 losses.
Yeah.
So let me say it. You don't have to say it.
So he has 2 touchdowns, is what you're saying.
Right, and we have 2 losses because we eat ass for breakfast.
Delicious ass.
That's nasty.
Even if it's delicious. That's the smallest Coke I've ever seen.
Magically, Coca-Cola.
I stole it off a 3-year-old.
Oh,
I believe it.
Let's make it worse.
We're done stealing lunch money. We're just going to steal small Coke Zeros.
Taking candy from a baby.
That's easy.
Although it says no calories, so I don't know if that counts.
Of course it doesn't.
Brandon Weeden, 3 yards?
He was respectable. No picks.
Against a decent defense.
And no picks.
No picks. That's ridiculous.
30 attempts, 31 attempts, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's more like it.
He's a good player.
Colt McCoy can sit back down now.
Yeah, Colt
Greg Little decided to drop stuff. Decided to catch stuff this week.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
Yeah,
he didn't want to catch it.
No.
He found out I dropped him, and he said, hell with it. I'll start catching touchdowns now.
Yeah, well.
I'm fine with that. He can sit there.
And he will. So they need to turn this around. I hope when we report next week that the
Fools go
the
find a way to
Bengals
lose
had a
it.
great comeback. And Peyton is the type who, like his brother, who can throw 4 picks in the first half and 4 touchdowns in the second.
right.
Little corner blitz. Slow running back.
Oh, yeah. That's bad.
Yeah,
I drafted him in a non-PPR league in the 4th round, and I thought I got a decent deal.
well, you did.
Yeah.
You did. At that point, you have to.
Yeah, 13, 40 yards.
And his
Each of the last 2 seasons.
He's really consistent.
Yeah. And he scores.
Right. Almost. I know, sir. I know.
He's averaging 2 yards a carry right now.
Yeah, but his first 3 carries went for
Well,
1 yard.
They dropped the 3 picks that Atlanta's caught. Denver's dropped.
They've dropped like 5 so far.
Ass monkeys.
I think Atlanta's DB